Hey yogis! So today I'm going to go through a tutorial for the pose crow pose, and in Sanskrit it's called Bakhasana. So this is just a fun pose to practice. Whether you ever really master it or not, there's a lot of strength that can be built even just attempting to do it. And I'm going to take you guys through like a step-by-step way to practice crow pose, and anywhere along the way that you make it in this journey is awesome. So just have a good time. Sometimes it's part of just falling, and it's just part of our practice, and luckily we're really close to the ground, so this should be fine. I've actually got some blocks with me today. I'm going to go through a couple different ways that blocks can be helpful in this pose. So I've got two blocks that are like a matching height and width. So I've got two of these, and then I've just got one single block on its own here in the back. So you can decide if that's something that's helpful for you. The first way I'm going to teach you guys to come into this is we're going to start at a standing forward bend, so an Uttanasana. So just make your way, just fold over. Maybe a little bend in the knees and hold onto your elbows and sway side to side. We're going to release the arms and go ahead and walk your feet open the width of the mat. Turn your toes out and start to bend your knees so that you're in a squat. So the depth of your squat, maybe just be about right here with your hands on the blocks. If you're able to come down a little bit lower, bring your triceps to the inner knees, your hands together in prayer, and lift your heart into your thumbs. Now draw your shoulders down the back and make sure that the weight is in your heels. So the first step or stage of crow pose is to stretch your arms out as long as you can in front of you. And as you slide your hands back, your elbows are going to get wide, okay? Now lift your hips and walk your toes together in the center of the mat. And then you might bring your hips back down and snuggle down a little bit deeper. So our elbows are nice and wide, okay? Now, as you lift your hips, your elbows are going to come in line with your wrists and your shoulders. And this is going to give your knees a chance to sneak a little bit higher up on the tricep. Now, lean forward and press into your hands to broaden the upper back. So this is step one. This is a great place to be, just finding it, like I said, that strength, and even just practicing this pose is wonderful. So that would be step one or stage one of Bakhasana. Now, this might be a good spot. Some of you might like to reach forward and grab your blocks and bring your hands onto your blocks and lift your hips. And this gives you a little bit more height off of the ground, but continue to press into your hands and broaden your shoulders. Now, I am really lifting up into my hips. I almost feel as if I just lean forward, you can lift one toe off the ground, or maybe the other toe. You can even reach back and grab that other block behind you, maybe bring it a little bit closer. And as your hands are on your blocks, press into your hands, lift your hips, and just walk your toes onto that back block. And then from there, one toe at a time. Keep pressing into your hands, broaden your shoulders, and then maybe you float. When you want to come down, I like to just drop my feet wide and drop back into that squat. And now we've got this block here, so it makes it a little bit more of a resting squat. Okay, so I just showed you a couple different ways of using your blocks in the front, using a block in the back. However, you can, as you begin to get more and more comfortable with this pose, you might just use the block in the back. So stretching your arms forward, slide your hands back, widen your elbows, and then lift your hips, and we're going to bring our knees as high up on the triceps as possible. Bring the toes to center, maybe touching onto your block, press into your hands, broaden your shoulders, And then just squeeze your heels towards your glutes. When you want to come down, widen your feet, drop right back into your squat, on or off of the block. Now, to counter this pose, what we'll do is we're going to come back up to our standing forward bend Uttanasana. We're going to lift the toes and bring the hands under the feet for Padahastasana. And then slowly fold and drape your head down to release your neck. Let's do that one more time. So go ahead and widen out your feet. Turn your toes out. Come into your squat. You can even sit on your block if you'd like. On or off of the block. Whatever feels good, find your squat. Stretch your arms forward. Start to slide your hands back, widen your elbows. Walk your big toes to center. Maybe just try to snuggle up your knees as high as you can on top of the tricep. Now make sure that you're looking forward. And as you lift your hips, your elbows come in line with the wrists and shoulders. Again, keep your gaze forward. Don't look at your toes. One toe at a time, lift up, press into your hands, broaden your shoulders. And when you're ready to come down, drop your feet wide, drop back into your squat. Let's bring our hands down, lift your hips up to the sky, walk your feet under the hips. Let's fold back into Uttanasana. From here, come down to your knees. So I hope that this has given you just a couple of little pointers and an insight to Bakhasana, crow pose. Using the blocks is really nice. And you know, this is a really big arm balance. So if you find that you've been practicing this forever and all you do is fall on your face, that's great. So as long as you're practicing some of these poses, even if you never master them, it doesn't matter. You're learning a lot. You're getting strong along the way. So, you know, just give yourself some grace and have fun with it. Namaste.